a special episode of All About African Violets. All About African Violets is musically sponsored by Ted Yoder. You can hear and purchase his wonderful music on his website at tedyoder.com. It is also available from iTunes. Hi everybody, how are you? Gosh, it's good to see you. Well, I thought I would show you this is my Glengarry. It's got a red thing on the top there. And it's what you have to wear when you're piping. You have to either wear a Balmoral or a Glengarry. And according to my teacher, the Glengarry is the cool hat. So this kind of makes me look like a melon head, but you know, there it is. And I thought you guys would like to see it. Ooh, I got hat head now. Yikes. Okay. Well, I got this bedhead haircut, you know, for a reason. And I'm wearing a shawl that I'm not going to keep on because finally it's warm here in Chicagoland. And but I thought you'd like to see it. So take a look. It's kind of a cool thing. It's the pattern is called Clapo T. It's a drop stitch shawl, and the yarn is it looks like African violets to me, but it's called clematis. And but I knit this, and the reason that I'm sharing it on the podcast with you, for those of you who are going to National, you will have an opportunity to bid on this shawl, and it might go home with you, and it can raise some money for the 2015 convention that will be held in Kansas City, Missouri next year. So I'm a member of the Missouri Valley African Violet Council, and they're the host club for next year's National, and so I knit this, and I'm gonna donate it to the cause. So anyway, hi. How are you guys? Gosh, it's good to see you. I had to use my iPad, so I didn't want to like pull it in front of my face because it makes all the lights all wonky. But I wanted to tell you that when we last spoke on April 6th, that we were at 465 likes on our Facebook page. And I just have to thank you all so much. So many of you have shared the podcast link and on Facebook, and we're at 532. We're like blasted past 500. And it's so exciting to me that so many people are still finding the podcast now and watching from the beginning. I just got a wonderful email from a viewer saying that they had started with one plant, and they used that one plant for everything that they were trying to learn watching the podcast, and they would use that plant and use the podcast to learn, and I just thought that was so wonderful. And so that was John in Florida. Thanks, John. That was great. Just great. And so anyway, I want to go into tips and treasures because this is the Road to National Part 2. So what you're going to see right now is footage, a kind of a look at the stands that I shot a week ago on May 4th. So I want you to take a look, and I'll be back on the other side. Hi everyone, it is Saturday. The view you're seeing now is Saturday, April 26th. And I'm out of breath because I've been up and down the basement stairs 8 million times already this morning. But here we are in the guest room, and you can see that things are starting to bloom. And actually, I'm a little nervous. A couple of these are starting to bloom a little sooner than I might have liked, but I'm going to let them go and see what happens. Here's Jersey Snowflakes. This is Buckeye Celebrity Status. I kind of let it come in here and hang out, and now it looks like it's going to bloom. So we'll see. This is Optimara, Michigan. Needs a little turn there. Let's walk around. Blueberry Sprite. Roulette. Grape Glory. Really too soon in bloom because this has got another week after National to go. This one's going to Illinois. But I will, I'm going to let it go and see what happens. Cross my fingers. Here is, there we go, Fisherman's Paradise. And this is Lion's Plum Pudding, and I just really wanted you guys to see this blossom. It is stunning. It's a plant I've grown in the past, and I'm really happy to be growing again. I'm not so happy about this leaf, however. But if I take it off, it's going to be a huge gap, and right now it's just probably 1 point off for 2 Mars on the leaf. So I'm going to see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this one. This is champagne pink. I really wish it was a little more variegated than it is, because it's hardly variegated at all. So I don't really know what's going to happen there. Rhapsody Clementine. And then over here, Optimara Yellowstone and Rebel's Night Breezes. Now let's take a look down here, because here is Zima Obeetzia, and you can see that things are not going so well. So I really was hoping that it was going to catch up, but it's not going to catch up. And this whole lower row, everything here needs to come off. You can see where the plant really is now. It's here. It's not here. So I may take this row off, and I may pot this back down to a 4-inch pot and let it grow. We'll see. I don't think it's going to go to show. Here is Santee Sioux, and it does look pretty good. It's just getting ready to bloom. So I'm crossing my fingers there. Let's walk back around. Here's Rupicola, and I think you can see that it is a lot bigger now than it even was about 4 weeks ago. It's really going to town. So it needs to be cleaned up, and hopefully it will come into bloom and I can take it to National. And here's Fresh Air, and it looks a little unruly right now. I'm going to have to really take another look at it and see. There's some leaves that might need, like that are tucked in there. They just need to be, that one looks like it might need to come off. I don't know, we're going to see. But as you can see, it's a really big plant. Let's go take a look in the basement. Well, guys, we're down here in the basement, and as you can see, some things are happening here. This is Tatanka. Just turn it around so you can really see it. Really nice blossoms on that. This is Optimara Manitoba, and I'm liking it a lot. This is Optimara Modesty. And just over here, this is Ma's Winter Moon. This is our challenge plant from Kara Lee that we grew from that little piece of a leaf. And you can see the other one is also starting to try to bloom. I have 2 plants of this that I let grow. And we're going to see what's going on. This is Ellie Gardner getting ready to bloom. Now, Ellie Gardner is a trailer. And over here, Linda Darnell is a trailer. And you can see here that I pinched the center out. And I'm about to do the same on Ellie Gardner to really encourage it. This is Miss Monet getting ready to bloom for the first time. I'm crossing my fingers that it blooms true. Here's Carrie Eye. Here's a little turn. Here we go. And this is Cajun's Flamboyant Mistress getting ready to bloom. And this one and Cajun's Frisky Whiskey, they are both doing really well. Now, Cajun's Blue Jean Queen over here, still not too happy, and I'm thinking it's not gonna stay. Unfortunately, I think it doesn't like it here. And oh, you guys probably saw the pictures of these on the website, on our Facebook page. This is the fruits of my labors from actually when I'm filming this. I did these on Friday, the 25th. I was home that day. And it's Saturday morning, and I'm down here working on the potting bench, and I'm going to be doing some repotting here very shortly. Here is Granger's Peach Frost. Again, that beautiful tipped blossom, really pretty. Here is Pangani Falls. This is a species plant. And here is Orbicularis varpurpurea. And this is a favorite plant of mine to grow. I've grown it before, and it will get absolutely huge. So cross your fingers on that one. And this is the regular Orbicularis. And these guys have a little bit of yellowing going on. I'm not quite sure what's up with that. I'm going to repot them today and see what happens there. And here is, this is Chimensis? Yeah, this is Chimensis. So everybody's looking pretty good. Let's go take a look over on the Streptocarpus stand. Well, you can see that the cleanup hasn't gotten here just yet. There's things here that need to go, but here's Heartland's white gold, and I have put all the streps on reservoirs now because they seem to prefer it. They really don't like to dry out, and this seems to be what they like. These guys are all in need of repotting. Here's Dale's Polar Berry, the one I now always want to call Polar Vortex. Here is Radar's Magic, Party Pinafore, and nothing going on over there on Tensi, on Radar's Tensi. Let's take a look upstairs. Guys, I'm making a short stop over here at the conservatory stand. This is that begonia that I had, and I hope you can see. I'm going to shift my body into the sun, and then hopefully this will brighten up. Can you see that it's in bloom? They're like little flat petals. I've never grown, and they're pink. I've never really grown a begonia before. Now I'm going to get out of the sun again and it'll brighten back up. But the leaves kind of look like silk. They are really pretty, really pretty. So, you know, all this one really needed was to be repotted, I guess, because it's going to town. Let's go take a look on the shelf. Well, here we are. You'll notice I've put everybody on reservoirs. These are the deli container reservoirs. You'll also be happy to know, well, almost everybody, you'll be happy to know that I did do some more of the lids, and I managed to not burn myself this time. Yay me. Here is Texas Hot Chili, Heartland's Lime Sherbet, Rhapsody Annie, Calumnia Firebird, and over here is Ramblin' Lace, which I also pinched the center out on, and we'll see how it does. It's tilted in the pot, I mean it's tilted on the saucer. Here's the Orbicularis. Here's my Apicia. It's not looking so good, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to repot a bunch of the stolons in one pot and see if it likes that better. And then over here, and I'm going to show you that this is the Fisherman's Paradise that has been living out here, and I just took all of the old raggedy leaves off of it, and it looks so much better. Anyway, that's the look at what's on the stands. I'll be right back. So you got a good idea. I mean, that was how everything was looking last week, and in truth, I really wanted to try. I was trying to get that ready to upload last week, and it just didn't happen. So, but you know, everything happens for a reason. And when I sat down, when I'm filming, it's Friday night. This is my exciting Friday night. I'm spending it with you guys. It's May 9th. And when you see this, it'll be Sunday. But what I decided to do, because right when we're this close to show, we're like 3 weeks out, a little over about 3 weeks out from National. And when the plants are this close, the difference from last week to this week, you are going to be so surprised when you see what the same plants that you just saw, the show plants, not so much the ones in the basement or on the stand in the sunroom here, but the show plants that you saw in the guest room. Let's go take a look at the stands now, and you'll see the difference. Hi gang, here we are. Now I want you to notice it is 1 week later from the footage that you saw earlier, and once the plants get to this stage, they just start going. So here we go. We're here. Take a look. That's what I like to see, lots of buds. There's Grape Glory, and I'm so worried it's really opened way too soon. But I'm hoping those blossoms are going to last well. Here's a good close look. Down here on the second shelf, that leaf that I was worried about, that's got to go. But look how many more blossoms just in that week's period of time. Here's the trailer. It is starting to bloom. I'm still not too excited. I mean, we've got some variegation here on this edge and here in a couple of spots, but for the most part, it's not very variegated, and I'm concerned. Clementine. Here's fresh air, just getting going. Look at the number of blooms that are on each of these bloom stalks. I mean, this is going to be huge. And look how big Rupicola is. Got one little blossom there. Let's walk back around, come back up to the second shelf. Here is Yellowstone, and I think it's going to be perfect, and I think it should last well to get to Illinois that following week, and it's really going to town. Here's Rebel's Night Breezes. It's trying. It's got one here, and it's got a couple more, but there aren't a lot of blossoms on each one of the bloom stalks. You can see here as well, lots of blossoms on these, buds on these bloom stalks, on this Optimara, and on Jersey Snowflakes. Lots of little blossoms just getting ready to go. Now here's Zima Obeatia, and as you can see, it's quite lovely. I have not taken that bottom row of leaves off. I'm waiting till the last minute because I thought I'm going to hold off until I go to show, and then I'm going to drop it down a pot size, and we'll see what happens. Here's Santee Sue. Let's go take a quick look in the basement. Well, guys, we're down here in the basement, and sorry, there's a box there. You can see that I've got a blossom here. It fell over. That's not its fault. I have one little blossom here on Miss Monet. So it's blooming true. I'm very excited about that. And here's everybody else just kind of hanging out. And here are the blossoms on Cajun's Flamboyant Mistress. Now, I sort of see the little speckling of the Blue Fantasy, which I think it says it has. I'll look that up, and I'm really excited about that one. Yay! Since I had some others that didn't quite make it. And here is Ellie Gardner. Now this is a trailer, and I've never successfully grown it before, so this is my first success with this one. Not a lot of blossom yet, but again, I just kind of wanted to let it bloom to see what we would have. Here are all the species plants, and things are starting to green up a little more on the Orbicularis plants. It's been my experience in the evenings, and it is a little after 7 here on Friday night. Can you see how the leaves are more pale? I've often found this to be true with species plants, some of them, that they will fade at the end of the day. I'm sure Dr. Jeff Smith could explain that for us, and I don't know the scientific reason for that, but I just know that it does happen from time to time. Here is Granger's Peach Frost. And here's my precious that my friend Julie gave me. I took, as I mentioned I was going to, I took the stolons off, and I put a whole bunch of them in one pot, and they look to be growing. So I'm excited about that. Let's go over and look at the strep shelf. Not a lot going on, guys. Heartland's White Gold is blooming beautifully. I've got a blossom that now needs to come off. After I did the cleanup, it bloomed like mad, and now it's got more cleanup than it needs. This one, which is Radar's Magic, the wick must be out of the water. I better check that. It looks a little sorry. Dale's Polar Berry, that I always want to call Polar Vortex now, getting ready to bloom. Got one right there. And Party Pinafore, and nothing going on over there with Tensi. Let's take a look upstairs. Okay, I'm a little out of breath because I just hoofed it up the steps. Can you believe my Texas hot chili? Unfortunately, a lot of these blossoms are old, and I'm gonna have to cut them off, but I'll tell you what, if there are enough of them that are still good, I'm taking it to National. We'll see how it does. This is Rhapsody Annie, getting ready to bloom again. I'll probably stop it because I want it to grow. a little more. It's not big enough, really. Here's Heartland's Lime Sherbet, and I'm thinking of moving this one onto the stand in the other room because it's getting ready to bloom. And if I can get it to come into bloom the week after National, it could go to Illinois. Here is one of the challenge plants from Carol Lee, Ma's Winter Moon. A little dirty here, but doing really well. I have one downstairs and one up here. This is a Illini piece. It had a little bit of a rot issue, but I've corrected that when I repotted it, and it's doing well. It's a little lopsided for now, as you can tell. But I left those bigger leaves on just to give it a little better of a try. And yeah, I think, well, the wick is right down at the bottom there, so it probably needs to get picked up a little. I think I'm not a success here on my... No, I don't think it's going to grow on my avocado pit. Plus, it's out of the water. That's a piece of the Calumnia from Joyce. Here's the Ascananthus obconicus. And Calumnia Apollo. Is that Apollo? No, this is Firebird. Sorry, Apollo's the yellow one. And here is Ramblin' Lace. And so far, so good with this one. It's... this pot is kind of wobbly on the thing there. But I did pinch the center. It looks like it wants to be a long trailer rather than a roundy snowball one. Not quite sure. I guess we'll see how it does. Here's Fisherman's Paradise, looking like it wants to bloom. And you know what? I just thought I'd show you this. These were the centerpieces at National a few years ago. They're like the glass block windows, and they have Italian lights in them with a little violet on the top. I just love that. I have it in my sunroom. All right, I'll be right back. Could you believe it? I mean, they're going crazy in there. And truthfully, I'm a little worried that Grape Glory is going to be done too soon. I probably should have pulled it down to the basement where it's a little cooler to try to get it to slow down. But it was a crazy week, and I didn't have an opportunity to do that. So it's blooming. And let's just set that intention that those blossoms are going to last, because I really want to take that one to Illinois. That was our project plant for this year for what's called the Helen Rhodes Memorial plant. And I'm hoping to be able to enter it. So I hope it still has some blossoms by the 7th of June. I don't know. That's a month away. Anyway, I'm just looking here. It's time to get the bail money ready. And it's all about National, guys. It's national. It's time to go to the National Convention. It's so exciting. It's so much fun. And I hope that I will see you there. And if you see me there, which you will, please come up and introduce yourself to me, because I would love to meet you. And thank you for watching the podcast all this time. So I really hope you can go. This is going to be a phenomenal convention in Nashville. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm driving there, so I can take some plants, and I'm very excited. And my next few weekends, this weekend is kind of my last free weekend, because the other thing that I'm getting the bail money ready for is, I mentioned to you before that I am a bagpiper, and you saw my Glengarry at the beginning of this episode. And this next Saturday, the 17th of May, is my first competition. I'm very nervous. And I'm kind of hoping that the melon head, is going to detract from the side of my rear end in plaid in my kilt. But I'm excited. I'm going to my first Highland Games as a competitor. It's in Springfield, Illinois. And the following weekend, I'll be in Alma, Michigan at the Highland Games there. And the following weekend, I'll be at National with all of you guys. And I have a few things up my sleeve. I've been, as I mentioned before, I have been able to secure some interviews that will happen at National that I will be able to share with you in future special episodes of All About African Violets. So I'm very excited about that. It's very cool. So, you know what? It's time to keep moving forward. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this special episode. And I want to encourage you that I tell you that you can still leave questions on the website. If I don't know the answer, I will know someone who does. You can also leave questions and comments on our Facebook page, which is Facebook, and it's all about African violets. So thank you again. It's so great to see you. I hope that your days will be filled with all the things you love. Good growing. I'll see you next time.